This episode of April and Jay Have No Ideas is brought to you by the Misconnected section of Craigslist, the #1 online destination for creepy stalkers and ghosted exes.
Northern Michigan Craigslist, dated April 5th, 2012. To the girl who took a gamble on a fart and lost. We met on Craigslist, so I'm hoping that this post finds you. I know that it could quite possibly be the most humiliating first date that you have ever been on, but I'm willing to look past that. I thought we had chemistry sitting at Applebee's, sharing that basket of Cajun tots while drinking the Amstel Light. I really felt like there was a connection there. I found you to be intelligent and witty and looked forward to a further conversation with you. At some point in life, everyone has gambled on a fart and lost. It just happened to be on a first date in the passenger seat of my car. Please don't feel bad. The package I sent you with Pepto the next day and the note that said, "First dates are always a crapshoot, call me," was meant to be funny, not offensive. I have gambled on a fart and lost on multiple occasions. The first time I did it was very memorable. It happened when I was 5 and sitting on my uncle's lap. I'm lactose intolerant but love cheese. I probably win 95% of the time, but I don't think anyone wins 100% of the time. That's why they call it gambling. I'm the last person to judge you for crapping your pants. In fact, I'm impressed by your boldness. The timing, on the other hand, could have been a tad bit better. Like, not when you're sitting on a heated leather seat. What I'm trying to say that is if you want to go out again, I would be more than happy to take you someplace where we can get a meal that is high fiber and less taxing on the digestive tract. I await your call, Tad. P.S. If you shat yourself on purpose to end the evening early, touche. Hi, I'm April.
And I'm Jay, and we have no ideas.
I had to cover, I don't know if you saw, no, you probably couldn't see it. My hand was like over the FaceTime screen because as soon as I started reading that ad, the look on your face, I knew I wasn't going to get through it.
Well, I'm sure that was a gem.
Thanks for finding that one and sending it to me.
Oh, I
was at work the other day grading finals.
I got a long list, don't you worry. So today we're recording today, May 17th, the same day that last week's episode finally went up onto the online world for your listening pleasure. And it's been a hell of a week. There's been some tribulations in life, to say the least.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start. So I guess my week started to go downhill on Mother's Day when we stopped after a nice drive to get some homemade pasta at a local restaurant. Leaving that restaurant, there was you had to cross traffic to take a left. So there was 2 lanes going from left to right and then 1 lane going from right to left. So as I started leaving the restaurant, the gentleman in the rightmost lane stopped to let me out. I took a quick peek at the stoplight, which was red and about 50 yards away. So I'm like, hey, I'm safe here. Pulled halfway out. So I was blocking both lanes. Looked up the hill to my left. Looked down to my right, saw the light was still red, and there was a gentleman coming around the corner of the intersection that was near me. So I said to myself, let's wait for this guy to go through the intersection, and then we'll take off to the left. But unfortunately, somebody to my right in the second lane was like, hey, asshole, I'm driving too fast to a stoplight, and I'm not going to stop. And totally smashed the front of my car. So that ended up taking about an hour to talk to the cops, wait for a tow truck, with 2 children in the back seat and my wife in the front seat. There was pasta everywhere because she had opened up the container to just take a piece, and her glasses flew off her face. which she keeps telling everybody when she tells the story. We got hit so hard, my glasses flew off my face. The woman hit me about 30 miles an hour, 50 yards from a stoplight. So you tell me who's at fault. According to the law, quote unquote, technically I am because I was crossing traffic. However, the light was red and I was stopped for a good 5 seconds, but that's besides the point. So, you know, it's...
So wait, so did the other driver blow the red light?
No. So the red light was to my right. The red light was to my passenger side. I got hit on the driver's side.
Okay.
She was approaching the light. I was between her and the light.
Okay.
She was coming down the hill, approaching the light, which was red.
So, okay. So you didn't have a light.
I did not have a light. I had a nice gentleman letting me out. And what I anticipate as somebody not paying attention, approaching a red light at a higher rate of speed than they should have.
You know, that happened to me once about, I don't know, it was right before I got married. And you know where the Starbucks is at Starbucks. Let me give you a better, where the movie theater is in Plainville.
Mm-hmm.
4th of July. So it was July 3rd. It was 4th of July weekend. It was July 3rd, 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a power outage.
Okay.
So it's so I'm at that intersection trying to leave Starbucks. So I'm going left out of Starbucks. And it's a blinking red light.
Which means it's a stop sign.
Yes. Actually, no. I'm a liar. There were no lights.
Okay,
That's
no
the
lights.
problem. No lights because the power had gone out. And so the cars in front of me were stopped to let me go. The cars to my right were stopped to let me go. The car to my left had stopped to let me go. I'm clear for takeoff. I'd been at this light for 20 minutes, mind you, waiting to get out. I pull out, and some idiot is flying. Had to be doing 55 miles an hour. Flying in a little Mazda. And I'm in a Dodge Nitro, which is one of those like big... ugly SUVs, hit me so hard it spun me. I was turning left. By the time I was facing right. Yeah. And like EJ had to come and like actually like pull the car door like open. I couldn't get out of my car. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I was faulted because I wasn't far enough out into the intersection.
Well, I can tell you that that's kind of bullshit because in doing all my research, and I knew this before, but I did a lot of research over the past couple of days for another reason, but I'll get to that. When a light is out, it also acts as a stop sign. Mm-hmm. So that gentleman was at fault because he ran a stop sign, basically. But yeah. So going through all that, so I had to take off Monday from work. And so I didn't get it done Sunday by the time I got home, needless to say. I didn't get it done Monday because in dealing with the insurance and everything all day, getting a rental, I was a bit stressed out by the end of the day. And I said, you know what? I'll just do it tomorrow. It's no big deal.
Shit happens.
And then 2 F1 hurricanes hit Connecticut on Tuesday.
Which I cannot
Or tornadoes, not hurricanes, tornadoes. So they had been talking about, so this was my Tuesday. They had been talking about, it was Tuesday, right, that it happened?
Yeah, it was Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday. They had been talking about all day how we were supposed to get very severe thunderstorms and possibly some tornado warnings. Now, as a resident of Connecticut my entire life, I've seen a lot of tornado warnings over my years, over my 35 years. And none of them really have ever added up to anything. So you can imagine when you see that on the news how everybody would just go about their business and say, whatever. So my wife arrived home from work and I arrived home from work and we decided, hey, let's run out real quick and get a car seat because of the accident and the fact that the driver hit us and that my car was technically disabled. The rule is for insurance companies, they will reimburse you for your car seats. So you get a new car seat. So we said, okay, let's go get a new car seat. Where can we get one? So we looked online. Unfortunately, the only store that had the one we needed was 20 minutes away, through back roads. Come to find out later, let's say Wednesday, this was one of the towns. So the 1, 2, let's say 3 towns, counting the one I ended up in and the 2 I traveled through. The 3 towns I had traveled through that evening were the 3 towns that were hit by this tornado. The 9-mile path that the tornado took, I was in for several hours. So I got to Target, got the car seat. It was still sunny out, so we said, hey, let's stop at Chick-fil-A. Who doesn't like Chick-fil-A? Let's stop there for dinner. Grab some dinner at Chick-fil-A. Starts getting dark outside. We're like, we better beat it. We get up to get out. It starts pouring. The sky is turning black and it starts pouring. So we're like, God, maybe we should wait here a minute. The wind looks like it's picking up. Let's wait a minute. So we wait a minute. It's still pouring like cats and dogs, but the wind dies down. So I'm like, let's make a run for it here. We get in the car. Immediately, my phone starts ringing. My mother, who lives in the same town I'm in, who I live in, says, where are you right now? Well, we're in North Haven. We're in this other town. What's up? Well, the storm's just passing through Naugatuck right now, and we're in the basement because I think there's a tornado outside. Okay. It's coming towards you. You should probably take shelter. So we drive across the parking lot, 200 yards, and take shelter in the Cinemark. Nice movie theater, by the way. Wish I was seeing a movie. We take shelter in the Cinemark as it's pouring and being very dark outside and crazy, and we hang out in there for probably half an hour, 45 minutes. The sky starts to lighten up. It's still pouring, but the sky lightens up. I'm like, all right, I think the danger is over. Let's get out of here. Little did we know, the tornado had passed through. So our attempt to get out of the town we were in, we left Cinemark at 5:20. We did not get out of that town until 7 o'clock. And that was after taking 8 different side roads and like taking a side road and then finding a giant tree in the road. So turning around and then taking another, like I got claustrophobic and was having a panic attack because I felt like I was trapped in the town.
Oh my God.
There's one highway that runs from Hamden to Amity, which is the next town over, but it said it was blocked at the tunnel.
Oh my God.
So then on Waze, all of a sudden the tunnel is open. So we're like, okay, tunnel's open. We'll get on 15. It was Route 15. We get through the tunnel. We get out the other side. We're in Bethany. We're like, yeah, let's do this. Okay. So there's 2 roads that run up through Bethany to Naugatuck. So we're one town away. There's 63 and 69. 63 is showing objects on the road, quote unquote, objects on the road. So we're
Gotta love Waze.
Yeah. So we're taking 69. We get about halfway up 69 to where we need to be. Object in the road. Telephone pole down. People are turning around, going all kinds of crazy ways. So I'm like, looking at Waze, I'm like, okay, I found a side street that connects to another side street that connects to 2 more side streets that gets me over to 63.
Okay. So
we go. This was probably the most poor decision I've ever made as a parent with 2 children in the car. I regret every moment of it because I probably went under 10 different trees being held up by power lines. I accidentally drove over power lines twice that didn't have power, thank God.
Yeah, but you know what? You would have been fine.
Well, they say not to drive over them, but...
No, but you would have been okay because your car is a
But when I tell you, like, there was trees almost touching the top of my car that were only being held up by power lines. We had no other choice. We were like in it.
Jay, that's terrifying.
It's my son woke up with having nightmares 3 times that night, and my wife is still like thinking about it. We quite possibly, literally, we drove through where a tornado passed. I've never experienced anything like it in my life. It was a war zone. So we finally get going. We get to 63. Now we're 3 miles away from the house, and traffic has us stopped. On the side of the road, it's funny. On the side I'm like, oh, I'm just talking about my battery on my phone is starting to die. And on the side of the road, I see this guy walking, and he's got a shirt on that has like a phone battery picture on it, like low battery. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, geez, and look at this guy. Turns out it's my wife's cousin. He's soaking wet. So we're like, Mike, what's going on? What happened? He's like, my wife called me and some trees hit my house while she was in it with the baby.
Oh my God.
And like he had to like leave his truck and march through the woods. Like he was doing the same thing we were doing, basically trying to get home, and like ended up leaving his truck and walking through woods to get home. And like it was nuts. So then we're stuck in traffic. It's like at this point, so now we left, to remind you, we left Cinemark at 5:20. Sorry, this story's going on longer than I thought. Hopefully it's entertaining.
It's fine. It'll be a long episode.
It's fun. Hopefully somebody's enjoying this story. So we left Cinemark at 5:20. It is now 7:20.
Oh my God.
We are stuck in traffic. So I swear to God, there were so many parallels I drew in my brain to Walking Dead. All I could think about was the episode at the end of season 5. Is it season 5? Where Negan, like, they trap him. Like, in every way they went, they had dropped a log over here. They went over, remember, you know what episode I'm talking about? That's
the season finale where...
That's what it was like.
Oh my God.
That's what my life was like. And it's funny because later my wife had brought up, she felt like she was living, she goes, I don't even watch this show, but I feel like I'm living The Walking Dead right now. Because mind you, she was wearing a short sleeve shirt and like short shorts, but she was wearing tall hunter boots, like the rubber rain boots. And she was out walking up and down the line of cars talking to people while I was sitting in the car with the kids.
Oh my God.
Yes, it was insane. So she's
now,
like,
can I just ask you something?
Yes, go ahead.
How come? Okay, so if you were in North Haven, why didn't you couldn't have cut over to 691?
691 had traffic too. Everywhere we looked on Waze, it was parking lots. Everywhere we looked, it was a parking lot. So needless to say, we're 3 miles from home now. It's 7:20. Sharon's walking up and down the street with her hunter boots on.
Like the mayor of Bethany.
Like the mayor of Bethany, talking to everybody. We actually were parked in front of somebody's house that she knew. And she's like, let's just take the kids and walk home. And I'm like, no, they're gonna clear this road. We're gonna be fine. I'm like, and part of me was just, I was scared to walk home with the kids. So I was stubborn about it. We stayed there. Grace is now crying, and I have like 10% battery, and she's watching Mickey Mouse on YouTube in the back seat to keep her quiet. So Sharon walks up to see what the problem is, and it turns out there's a tree in the road, but there's a whole bunch of trucks coming down right as we speak to cut it down. So I'm like, as soon as they cut it down, we're golden. At this point, people are abandoning their cars and walking. With children, with bags, with their groceries, they're just walking. And I'm like, what the hell? I see a friend of mine's mother, and he's like, you're not going to get through. You better just walk with me. Let's go home. My son's picking me up on the other side of the blockage.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, because I think there's just a tree. So at that point, my phone rings, and it's my friend, and he goes, hey, if you want to walk, I'll pick you up on the other side. I said, well, what exactly is going on? As far as I know, there's just a tree. He goes, oh no. Once you get past the tree, there was 3 telephone poles, one on one side of the road and 2 on the other. They had fallen towards each other like a tripod, then twisted, and then tied the wires in a knot. There was like,
oh my God.
So when we eventually, now it was, I think, almost 9 o'clock now. We decided to finally go drive back up the street, maybe 100 yards to a diner, and leave my car there. We leave the car there. We hoof it with the kids. My friend picks us up right on the other side of the wires. We literally had to walk through where the wires were. Like, they were just above our heads. I had to hold my son and like guide him through in the dark with like 20 wires tied in a giant knot next to us. And finally made it home.
Oh my God.
Needless to say, the one thing I forgot to mention is at one point I realized, because I have a rental because of the car accident, I didn't have my house keys, and we had heard everybody was out of power. So the only way for me to get in my house when I don't have house keys is through the automatic garage door, which if I didn't have power, I was going to have to break into my house, which I could have done. I know how to do it, but I would have had to break into my house. We got home. The power was on, thank God. And like we got home about 9:20, so 5:20, 6:20, 7:20.
4 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours. It took us 4 hours to get home, like 6 miles.
Oh my God.
What would normally have taken us 20 minutes. So then to top it all off, the next morning, I wake up. My father's supposed to bring me to work so I can get my car later in the day. He calls me. He goes, I don't have power. I'm gonna stay home today. So now I have no ride to work. I have to get my car, and I'm like, you know what? The heck with it. I put on clothes. I look at Sharon. I go, I'm walking to get the car. So I walked 3.5 miles up the street to get the car. Took me an hour. Left the house at 5:20 a.m. Got to my car at 6:20 a.m. Drove it home, showered, went to work. So needless to say, when I got home Wednesday, I was exhausted, and that's why I didn't go up Wednesday. And that brings us to today when the episode went up.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this was a week.
I'm glad that you didn't tell me most of the story.
Oh yeah, I wanted to.
Bits.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not entertaining, it was at least intriguing. I'd like watching you with your chin on your hands, yeah, go on.
Because from my perspective of this, Sunday I'm in the movies with my mom and my sister, and I see Jay's calling me. So I'm I text him back on my watch. I'm like, I'm in a movie. What's up? No response. I'm like, okay, well, once the movie's over, I'll call him. So we leave the movie, and he's left this 49-second voicemail.
Frantic voicemail, because I was still shaky at that point.
Calling to tell me, sorry, I'm not posting the episode. We were in a car accident. Everybody's okay. Way to bury the lead. And also, so I call him up, and I'm like, dude, why are you apologizing for this?
Because the episode didn't get up.
So then I'm like, don't worry about it. We're fine. Just, whatever. At this point, I'm just I'll post something, just letting everybody know not to expect the episode tonight. So then I'm at the mall on
Tuesday. Tuesday.
Oh yeah, Tuesday.
That was Sunday. Then Tuesday.
So I'm at the mall on Tuesday, and Jay's calling me again, and I'm like, okay. So Jay never calls me. We just text constantly. The only time Jay and I talk on the phone is during our episodes and when we're planning an episode and we need to hammer some stuff out. Otherwise, Jay and I text, 37 times a day.
Or if I have a long, drawn-out, panicked story I need to tell, apparently.
Right. So he calls me again, and he's like, I can't post the episode tonight. There's a tornado, and we're at the Cinemark in North Haven, hunkering down. And I'm just again, your first priority should not be the episode.
Well, listen, my family was safe. That was my first priority. My second priority was, oh crap, I can't get the podcast online. Which now in my my process of planning, I will teach you how to post these episodes so that we don't get into this problem again.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll deal with that later.
Yeah. So I had not as harrowing experience, but Amtrak is on my shit list.
Do tell.
So, okay. So my mom lives about 2 hours away from me. And what's nice is she lives about 25 minutes away from a train station. And I live about 10 minutes away from a train station. Mm-hmm. So I have been taking the train to my mom's house because why not?
Because who wants to drive like a sucker?
Yeah, and I also don't want to keep putting on 200-300 miles on my car whenever I go visit. Mm-hmm. And seeing as though now gas prices hit $3.09 where I live today.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I drive a Jeep, so it's not really conducive to great gas mileage. But anyways, so I've been taking Amtrak. It's $26 one way.
That's not too bad.
It's when you think about the fact that I have to fill up twice, once on the way down.
Yeah, that's more than a gas. That's less than a gas a tank.
It's about equal. Yeah, it's about equal. When you do the math. So, anyways, Sunday, I take the train back home, and I take the latest train out of Albany Rensselaer Station, which gets me back to Utica.
Town? Okay.
Yeah. It gets me back to the Utica train station about 10 minutes before my husband gets out of work.
Yep.
So it takes me about so by the time I'm off the train getting,
Right.
my husband can meet me after work like 5 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
So we're pulling up to the train station, and there's a whole a whole train car full of people who are waiting to get off the train.
Yes.
And we're stopped. And the doors aren't opening.
Okay.
So people run to the next train, like car. Those doors aren't opening. I look back behind me. Those doors aren't opening. So we're like, okay, well, maybe they're not ready for us to get off for whatever reason. And then I say to the group of people that I'm sitting with, and there's about 20 of us, I don't think we're getting off this train. So I start to make my way to try and find somebody who works on the train to get them to open the doors.
Yeah.
When the train starts moving. Well, the next stop is Syracuse, which is about an hour away.
God.
And again, it's now almost 9 o'clock at night. So I find the woman that I hate that works on the train, because, I see these people now. And she works some Sunday nights, and she's not a very pleasant person. So I, run up to her, I'm like, we couldn't get off the train. There's 20 of us, we can't get off the train. You gotta stop the train. So she, finds the conductor, and the conductor's like, well, you guys are gonna have to go to Syracuse. The hell we are. So he's like, let me make a call. He's like, okay, I can drop you off at Rome. Now, Rome is about 20 minutes away, and that train station is A, closed at this hour, and B, there are no trains coming back towards Utica until 7 o'clock the next morning. So we're like, how do you expect us to get back to the Utica train station? To which they said, you're on your own.
What was the reason they didn't let you off where you were supposed to get off?
No reason was given to us.
Yeah, that's irresponsible.
So now Rome is a really kind of, it's not a bad area, let's just put it that way, but it's very desolate. And where the train station is, there's nothing.
Gotcha.
So I'm texting my husband, and I'm like, hey, change of plans, meet me in Rome. They wouldn't let us off the train in Utica. So we get to Rome, they let us off, and we're like, is Amtrak going to pay for our taxis or for our Ubers? And they said, no.
Nope.
You can come up to Syracuse, and we will bus you back.
No.
No, you should pay for our Ubers or whatever. So I get off, and I'm just waiting for my husband. And thank God there was 20 people there, because it really was one of those, it's good that there's safety in numbers kind of thing. So a bunch of people call Ubers, and everyone's super friendly to each other, and they're all like, let's just share Ubers, whatever. And I guess one of the people that was on the train that was really angry, he was talking to one of the people that work on the train, and he's like, what's your name? And not only would the train worker not tell him his name, but he obscured his name tag so that the guy couldn't get his name.
Really?
Yeah. So I tweeted at Amtrak on Sunday night, and I was like, listen, this is what happened. This is bullshit. And they tweeted back at me and said, call this number, hit 0, ask to talk to so-and-so or to our customer relations, and, we want to deal with this. So Monday morning I do that. And I'm on hold listening to music for about 10-15 minutes. I'm like, screw this, I have to go give an exam. I can't wait for this. I have things to do. So I call back. Another 30 minutes on hold. Nothing. Jeez. So I tweet back at Amtrak again. I'm like, hey, this is going on. Nobody answered your freaking number. What do we do? I get the same rote response. They basically just copy and pasted their whole thing. So I tweeted back at them. Hey, Amtrak, I did that. What do you want to do about this? So nothing. So today I tweeted at them again, and I'm waiting for a response. And I said, DM me either with a phone number of a direct person I can call, or to get my phone number so you can call me. Because here's the thing that they're gonna learn very soon. As of tomorrow at like 6 o'clock, I'm on summer vacation for 3 months. I have nothing better to do
Than to tweet at him every day.
than make Amtrak my bitch. I
Nice.
did it with UPS a couple years ago, and they sent me apology flowers. So,
Amtrak, you better find that goddamn Jeff Goldblum
Amtrak,
Funko Pop.
You were on notice.
You gonna learn today. Oh my god. Okay. Well, 31 minutes and 24 seconds later, let's start our episode.
Guys, this is just be prepared. It's gonna be a long episode.
This is gonna be a long episode. I apologize. So
last week wasn't great, so we're making up for it this week.
Making up for it with our terrible lives this week. Okay, so on that note, this week we're gonna talk about plot twists.
So, spoiler alert. We are going to be spoiling the shit out of movies.
Pretty much every movie that has a surprising plot twist, we are going to spoil, and we're not going to say spoiler in front of each one. So if you think there's a chance that you may not want to hear this, I mean, I'll give you like 5 seconds before we start talking about movies after we say the title.
Yeah.
But that's, that's about it. I mean, it's spoilery. So, and since you came up with this topic, I'm going to let you go first.
I'm so proud of myself.
You came up with an idea.
I did.
False advertising on our part this week.
I'm trying to find one that because I don't want to take away some of ones that I know that you.
Oh, it's fine. I am not.
All right. So let's start with Shutter Island.
Well, that's a good one.
Okay, so Shutter Island, for those who haven't seen it, Leonardo DiCaprio plays a U.S. Marshal who's at an insane asylum in I don't know, the 30s maybe?
Correct.
It's old-timey. And there's odd occurrences that he's investigating. I think there's a missing person or something. And then...
Spoiler, or is he? Sorry.
Well, that's the thing. So he's not. He's a murderer who's institutionalized at the asylum, and they just let him go on with these delusions and play along with him.
And I only saw the first quarter of it, so I wasn't sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you find out at the end of the movie that he's actually a patient.
Crazy.
And they're oh, here comes Teddy again. Let's set up this elaborate plot for him.
Oh my god, unbelievable. Alright, so that's one. Let's see what else I got here.
What else? We just started, Jay.
Let's see what else I got here. Here's a good one. This is a classic one. The Usual Suspects. Which unfortunately is another movie that's been ruined. And
I've never seen it and have no desire to now that it's been ruined.
Ruined. It's a shame too because douchebag Kevin Spacey was amazing in this movie. So for anybody that hasn't seen it, there is a crime committed, and they gather together, the usual suspects, and come to find out, they pin the crime on a man named Kaiser Soze, who it turns out Kevin Spacey is playing all along, but putting together all these lies about who he is. And it really is genius. The scene at the last scene is where you figure it out. And so the whole movie, Kevin Spacey's his character is really weird. And he has this weird limp and he's just a weird guy. And at the end, the scene it's such an iconic scene is he leaves the police station after being let off as not the suspect, leaves the police station, and you see him walking down the street limping, doing his weird ass walk. And as he's doing it, he very slowly starts to straighten up, and then he starts to lose the limp and start walking normally. and you realize as the cops inside split, like screens going back and forth, as the cops realize that he actually lied the whole time and got away with it, and he was the guy all along. But even though Kevin Spacey's a super douche, I still recommend checking it out if you can, because there's a lot of other really great actors in it, and it is a really great plot. It really is.
I mean, he also ruined Seven, which is another fantastic movie, which also kind of has a plot twist, but I don't really consider the plot.
All right, let's do that. Let's do that one then.
So, Seven, you find out that the person committing the murders of the 7 deadly sins is Kevin Spacey, but he's only committed 6 of the 7 murders that he wanted to commit.
Right.
And sends Brad Pitt, Gwyneth Paltrow's head in a box in order to goad him into completing his 7th murder by killing Kevin Spacey out of revenge.
Right.
And
what's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
And like, I love that movie, but Kevin Spacey has ruined that one.
Ruined.
And another one with a crazy plot twist too that is also Kevin Spacey is The Life of David Gale.
Never saw that movie.
So it's actually like really excellent. I talk about it in one of my classes. But basically, he plays a person who opposes the death penalty, who gets convicted of murder and sentenced to death.
Mm-hmm.
And like all of the evidence, he did it. He did it. The moment he's executed, evidence is released. There's a video or something that proves he didn't do it, and it was a setup the whole time to show how flawed the criminal justice system is and that the death penalty is bad.
Oh my god! So he did it to himself?
Yeah. So like he had himself set up. Like it was a plot with like him and another person who was opposing the death penalty, and like she killed herself, and he like videotaped it or whatever. But like they show like everything that they're doing, to set him up.
Gotcha. So another one kind of like that, it reminded me of it while we were talking about it, was, did you ever see, oh God, I'm going to forget the name of the movie now, with Gerard Butler, called, not Model Citizen.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
It's going to drive me crazy, so I have to look it up. It was called, in which his house gets broken into. There's a home invasion, and his wife and his daughter.
His wife and his kid. I don't remember if it's.
I think it's his wife and his daughter are murdered, and he like loses it and goes full like.
Liam Neeson?
He goes Liam Neeson on him and murders the people who murdered his wife and child. And I'm trying to think. What the heck was the name of the movie?
Is that the one where he's in prison and like there's like the secret compartment where he can like escape in and out of prison?
Get that? Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Sorry.
Law-abiding citizen. And he goes on this rampage and kills the 2 people. But then the lawyer, played by Jamie Foxx, who has like a perfect record, he refuses to like, I forget what it is. He refuses to, after there's a plea bargain set for one of the killers that sets the killer free.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the plea bargain because it keeps the lawyer with this perfect record. So the guy like takes out hell on the people of this justice system. He's taking out lawyers and stuff, and they can't figure it out the whole time. They're like trying to figure out how he's doing it because he's locked in solitary. And come to find out he had been planning it for like 10 years or something.
Yeah.
He owned all the properties around the prison. and yeah, set up like a tunnel where he could get to another place that had a car that had all these weapons that had like it was crazy. It's much more exciting than I'm making it sound, but
Yes.
so yeah, that was a crazy one too.
Where is the thing? There was one I was just looking for. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
That's okay. I got another one.
Okay, go ahead.
I say this because I had just watched the new version of it. Murder on the Orient Express. So
I've never seen it, and I really want to.
all right, so
So, you know what? Here. Oh, no, wait. I can take my headphones off and you can explain it, and then you can, like, wave me back in.
well, it's fine. So
Is it the same as the old? I mean,
it's the same as the old one. It's the same plot as the old one. Have you ever seen the old one?
No, but
know
I
the
saw.
story?
I did see this. I did see the spoiler on it. So go ahead.
Okay. So, I thought the new one was pretty good. I thought it had a great cast. You know, somebody's killed on the train, and they're the whole time the detective. What is it? The world's greatest detective.
Yes, Hercule Poirot. Hercule Poirot.
Yeah. Is trying to figure out who murdered him, and meanwhile, there's all kinds of hijinks. And at the end of the movie, you find out, spoiler, that everybody murdered him.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on the train is guilty, and you find out why. There's more to the story, but you find out exactly why, and it's just the scene itself is crazy. Like in the new one, they show the scene where the guy's actually being murdered, and literally it was all of them taking turns stabbing him. There's like 20 of them. It's insane. It's so crazy.
Sounds
it's
really
horrifying.
good.
It's horrifying. Yeah, you have to watch it. But so sorry I ruined that one for you.
It's okay. So have you didn't see Arlington Road, right?
I did not. Was that the one with the kid and his son?
It's yes.
Okay, no,
So
I didn't see
it's
it.
Jeff Bridges,
Okay.
Tim Robbins, and Joan Cusack.
Okay. Was it post-apocalyptic?
No.
Am I thinking of a different one? I'm thinking of The Road.
Yes, no,
The
this
Road,
is
okay.
So Jeff Bridges plays a widower who begins to suspect that his new neighbors are terrorists who are targeting the FBI headquarters for a horrific attack. And he can't prove it. And in the end, he ends up being the unwitting mule for the bomb. So, like, he actually ends up bringing the bomb, like, the neighbors plant the bomb, like, with him, and he doesn't know it. And he ends up getting killed in the terrorist attack because at the FBI headquarters, and ends up being remembered as a terrorist. And I believe the neighbors end up taking his kid. Like,
God, that's crazy.
yeah, I remember I saw that movie. It was like a double feature of that and the Blair Witch Project, the drive-in.
Oh, God. Oh.
The year I got my driver's license, I got it like in August. So like all we did for like the entire month of August was go to the drive-in like all the time.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so Psycho.
American Psycho or Psycho?
Well, both, but I was gonna do Psycho, so you can do American
Which
Psycho.
that's fine. Which we talked about actually a couple episodes ago, or last episode.
So you find out that Mother isn't really alive.
Oof, that's another one that's horrifying.
Norman Bates is dressed up as Mother when he kills Janet Leigh. And that he's like schizophrenic,
to say the least.
who likes to dress up in her clothes.
Oh my God. I didn't see American Psycho, so I can't do that one.
Okay, well I can because I've seen it.
Okay.
So American Psycho, you have Patrick Bateman played by Christian Bale, who is
It's like a Wall Street guy?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so throughout the movie, he like murders a whole bunch of people. And then you come to find out that he's delusional and it was all in his head the whole time.
Ah, gotcha. So he was
Yeah.
murdering people for no reason.
But he really wasn't killing anybody.
Oh, he never actually killed anybody.
No, he never actually killed anybody.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, you find out that like when you get to like the end of the movie, it like brings you back to like the beginning where they're like sitting in a restaurant and he's just been imagining killing like people that pissed him off.
Oh my god. Funny thing, so I have seen the one scene with what the
Is it
hell
when
is
he's
his
playing
name?
Huey Lewis?
Jared Leto, yeah, and he's talking about, I think it's the album Sports.
Yes,
He's talking about the album Sports. Did you ever see, a couple years ago, they made a short parody of that scene?
I don't know.
Does it ring a bell? Okay. So they made a short parody of that scene. So the part of the character of, and the characters are loosely based, these two actors played themselves. But Christian Bale's part was played by Huey Lewis.
Oh, nice.
And Jared Leto's part was played by Weird Al. And the scene, instead of Huey Lewis talking about his own album, Huey Lewis was talking about the movie American Psycho to Weird Al and kills Weird Al the same way.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You have to watch it. It's the funniest freaking thing. It's just so meta because it's Huey Lewis, but then he's talking about American Psycho. It's so funny, and he does the same thing. He puts on the coat, and he like does that weird walk. Oh my god, it's so funny. Meanwhile, Weird Al's like, "Okay, man, whatever you say. I guess it's a good movie. Whatever." It's so funny.
Okay, Gone Girl.
Yes. Was that was with who was in that movie?
Ben Affleck.
That was the one where his wife disappeared?
Yes.
Okay, because I was thinking of a different one. But go ahead.
So I read the book first.
Right, because I remember us talking about it.
That's a book that I couldn't put down. Like, and I had it on audiobook too, so like I would go from like driving the car listening to it to coming home and reading it.
Yeah.
Because it was just so riveting. But Ben Affleck's wife goes missing. And she sends him on a scavenger hunt for his birthday.
Right.
And you find out that everywhere she's sending him has to do with places that he cheated, I think. And you come to find out that she faked her kidnapping. Well,
yeah, and he comes back to find that she's been kidnapped and he's the number one suspect.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But the scavenger hunt goes on throughout the book because, like, she sets up this whole elaborate thing, and, like, when he gets to the end of the scavenger hunt, you go. She
But she makes it. Is it supposed to look like the kidnapper set it up?
It's supposed to make it look like he killed her.
Okay.
Like, it was his birthday, so she, like, sent him on this elaborate scavenger hunt. And he was like trying to keep the police from like knowing about like the clues because he wanted to figure it out. And the last stop is like at his sister's house in her shed, and it's like all this stuff that she purchased on a credit card she took out in his name to make it look like he was leaving her. And then come to find out that she is insane and set this whole plot in motion, and she's actually alive, and she was gonna kill herself as like revenge for him cheating on her. And
but she like finds out she's pregnant, right?
No.
Or no?
That doesn't happen until later.
Okay, that's right.
That's a whole other thing. And then like they end the movie, and she basically says she gets herself pregnant. And that's a whole thing too.
Oh god, yeah, that's right.
And
I just remember talking about it with you.
And I'm probably not explaining it very well, but at this point, just watch the movie. It's
probably best if we don't get deep into that part of the movie.
Well, no, it was a whole thing about like IVF and stuff. Like she went and like got herself artificially inseminated. Like they had like frozen his sperm and her eggs.
Okay.
And the whole thing.
Gotcha.
And this whole thing was like an elaborate scheme. And she gets pregnant, and she basically says, if you leave, you will never see your child. So he stays with her.
And like that's how it ends.
Yeah, and it's so
God.
messed up. And she like murders an ex-boyfriend in the meantime, and
Jeez.
it's crazy. The movie didn't do such a great job of adapting it. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
The book is so much better, obviously, but.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. Did you ever see the movie The Orphan or Orphan?
I have not.
I haven't seen it either. I was hoping you did, so I'm going to spoil something I don't know anything about. So
no, I know what it's about, and like SVU did an episode just like this. So go on.
It's like they like adopt a child, right? They adopt this weird little girl named Esther or something, a 9-year-old girl.
Who's like 9.
And she like ends up killing the family or something. Does she kill the family, or she just terrorizes the daughter or something?
Yeah, something like that.
But she turns out to be like a 33-year-old murderer or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, never mind. Sorry, that was a bad one. Okay, here's a good one. Have you ever seen The Prestige?
No.
It's okay. I don't. Yeah, but it's not, because it's an amazing movie and I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, fine.
I can't spoil that one.
Okay.
Go watch The Prestige, people. If you haven't seen it, it's about two rival magicians played by Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it, I can't in good conscience spoil it for you.
Okay.
It's such a good movie. Like you'll never. It's one of those movies that you have to experience the plot twist like in real time.
All right.
So I brought it up just to not talk about it. Let me see. I got more here. Did you ever see 7 Pounds with Will Smith?
Nope. I had no desire to, and I know the plot twist, so go right ahead.
So he ends up. I forget what the 7 pounds part of it is. But he ends up donating a bunch of his organs, I think, right? I think something like that. He ends up donating organs or something to like 7 different people in atonement. You find out in atonement for he killed 7 people in a car accident because he was texting and driving or something.
Yes.
So the whole movie, he's like, I forget the way they set it up. It's really weird. He's like meeting all these people and ends up signing over like his organs. And I think he kills himself. He like freezes himself. He does something. I forget exactly what he does, but I remember he puts himself in a bathtub full of ice. Oh, he calls in a suicide. He takes like pills or something, and he calls in his own suicide. But he commits suicide, but he puts himself in a bathtub full of ice.
So that they can take his organs?
And you find out at the end he's an organ donor, and he had met all these people ahead of time, like in preparation for this. So you see him meeting all these people randomly. And like he meets all these people and like finds these people and decides, like checks them out to see what their story is. Mm-hmm. Basically finds these people in need that are good people. Either that or they're affected by something. And then not doing a good job.
No, but I can explain the 7 pounds.
Okay.
So in the Shakespearean play, The Merchant of Venice, the moneylender Shylock demands the pound of flesh promised him in payment for a loan.
That's right.
And Portia responds that he may have it, but without an ounce of blood, since blood was not promised. So he gives his 7 pounds of flesh because he killed 7 people.
Right, got it. Okay. What else we got here?
Well, I got some.
All right. Yeah.
I'm saving the one the best one for last. Mm-hmm. So,
good call.
Friday the 13th, the first one.
The original.
You find out that it's Jason's mother, Mrs. Voorhees.
Right.
Who's committing all the murders.
Right, because her son was drowned as a child, right?
Her son drowned as a child because the camp staff was too busy fornicating and drinking to pay attention to her child.
I think it's funny that you use the word fornicating.
Fornicating?
Well, you went out of your way to use like a proper word.
Because I'm pretty sure that's what she says in the movie.
Yeah, they were kids drinking and having sex.
Fornicators.
You fornicators.
Fight Club.
That's a good one.
That one messed me up.
That one messed me up because I still didn't really understand it at the end. And I watched it with he was a friend of mine at the time. He's not anymore, but he was one of those people that like would point shit out to you during the movie that you didn't understand. Like every time they did the little flicker thing.
Yeah.
You know, did you see that? That's important. But like, shut the fuck up. I hate people that do that during a movie. Like, that's important. Remember that. Shut the fuck up. Just let me watch the fucking movie. So I just remember watching the movie. But by the end, I was so pissed off. Like, I was so uninterested because I was getting sick of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a big twist.
Yeah, where you realize that Tyler Durden actually is just
another personality.
Yeah.
Of the same man
the whole time.
That's a movie too where even after you know about the spoiler, you can watch it a second time because just to see what's her name, Helena Bonham Carter's reactions to things that Ed Norton says, that make way more sense after the fact because come to find out he's sleeping with her, but he's sleeping with her as Tyler Durden and not himself. Really strange, really cool.
Yep. No, that's definitely. I mean, that's one that I can still watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, over and over again.
Yeah. No, agreed. Let's see. I have some more here for myself. Another one. Here's a good one. Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2, when Stinky Pete turned out to be the villain and tried to prevent Woody from escaping. I don't know if that's a plot twist. I guess it's kind of a plot twist.
For a kids movie, sure.
The Prospector, Stinky Pete. Love Toy Story.
Did you see Memento?
I did not. I'm ashamed to say I did not.
Okay, then I can't spoil that one because that's a.
I know I know the movie, what the basic plot of the movie is, but I don't know like the end. I don't know what the end is.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pull a J and say I'm not gonna tell you.
Pull a J.
What the plot twist is because it's actually like it's a good one. It's a good one. You should go watch Memento.
What else you got?
Black Swan.
I didn't see it. I vaguely know what it's about.
So it's about Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis are like rival ballerinas, and
trying to get the prima ballerina spot.
Yeah, actually, it's Swan Lake. And there's a whole scene at the end where Natalie Portman stabs Mila Kunis. Only to find out that she actually didn't. She stabbed herself in like some sort of psychotic break.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Let's see. The Others. Did you see that one?
Which one was that?
Nicole Kidman lives in it's old timey, like 1930s.
I did not. But I probably won't.
It's so they live in this. She lives in this haunted house. And she plays a woman with 2 children who are unable to come into direct contact with the sunlight.
Okay.
And then you come to find out that they're all dead. And that they're haunting the house.
Oh, gotcha.
I haven't seen Jacob's Ladder.
I have not. Have you seen, and this was actually a pretty good movie, I was surprised, Perks of Being a Wallflower?
Yes.
That was a good movie. I was very surprised by it. So that one, if you haven't seen it, I would recommend seeing it. I forget who the actors are in it. But it's...
I think Logan Lerman is like the main character.
Yes.
Ezra Miller.
That's right, Ezra Miller. That's the one.
Emma Watson
plays his best friend.
And Nina Dobrev plays his sister.
Is it Nina Dobrev?
Yes, she plays his older sister.
Yes. So, and it's about this kid who, he's like an introvert, I think. Yeah, he's an introvert, and he's a freshman in high school, isn't he?
Yeah, freshman or sophomore.
And he's kind of like taken under the wing of two seniors, and they like kind of expose him to all kinds of stuff. Oh, that's right. The one Emma
Watson.
Watson. Did you say her already?
I did.
Okay. Hermione was in it. Played his like love interest. And it's weird. He's like quirky and he can't figure out how to like this girl and stuff. And he's got this like weird fear. And you find out later he's like has repressed memories because he was raised by his aunt, wasn't he? Was he raised by his aunt?
No, he was raised by his parents.
Raised by his parents, but his aunt had like sexually abused him as a child.
Yeah,
and he like completely blocked it out. Like he didn't even. It was one of those things where it like he had no idea until somebody said his sister says something to him because she knows about it, and she's like, "You don't remember, do you?" And it like clicks, and there's like this crazy scene at the end that like kind of reveals it all.
But he's an introvert, but he's also depressed, and he had like tried to kill himself.
That's right.
Before the movie starts, there's like a suicide attempt, and
but really good movie. It was actually really good. I thought it was going to be a little too teeny bopper or like kind of cheesy, but it was actually a very good movie.
A lot of those movies are really good.
Mm-hmm. Percy Jackson was excellent in that movie.
Yes, he was. Oh my god, I had another. It's not a traditional plot twist, but it still is because I didn't see it coming. The Fault in Our Stars.
Okay. I remember you were like obsessed with that movie, weren't you?
It's my favorite book.
Oh, that's right.
And we will talk about favorite books in another episode.
Yes,
I love it so much. I have a quote tattooed on my arm.
Yes, you do.
But it's about two kids with cancer. And the girl is pretty much terminal, and we know she's terminal from the start. And she meets Hazel Grace is her name, and she meets a boy named Augustus Waters at a cancer support group, which her parents make her go to. And he's been in remission. He lost a leg to cancer, and they fall in love, and they do like this Make-A-Wish trip to Amsterdam, and then you find out that not only has his cancer returned, but it has attacked his entire body. And he's the one that dies.
Crazy.
And
does she end up living? Or they both die?
No. She ends up living through the end of the book.
Oh, okay.
Like, she survives him.
She's still technically terminal. She doesn't go into remission or anything, but...
No, but she, like, when the book ends, she's still alive, and it's right after his funeral.
God, that's
and
awful.
It is, oh my god. I remember reading the book at my parents' house, and I'm sitting on my parents' porch, and I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm sobbing, and my dad had come up the stairs onto the porch, and he's like, "What is the matter?" And I was like, "This book is just so sad." And he's like, "Put it down. Like, what are you doing?"
Just stop reading it then.
I'm like, I can't. It's so good. Because it was one of those, like, you didn't know, like, it just came out of nowhere. Because the whole book, you're preparing for her to die.
Yeah.
And my sister and her fiance, after a couple of years of me saying, you need to see this movie, they watched it. And the movie, after they watched it, I get a phone call. And my sister's crying. Her fiance's yelling at me in the background. Why would you do that to us?
Oh my god, that's funny. Did we ever talk about... So, all right, I have two of them I want to talk about. Okay. One, you didn't see Snowpiercer, did you?
No, but I read the plot twist.
All right, well, I'm not going to talk about that one because they're making a TV show and everything about that one, and that one's another good one. The Mist. Did we talk about The Mist in another episode?
We did. I don't think we did, but I have seen that movie, so we're good to go.
That one's horrifying. Like, horrifying.
So fucked up.
It really is. So, these people are trapped in a grocery store because of some laboratory, and it's in Maine, like all Stephen King stories. Some laboratory. I think they, like, Yeah, do you find out like they tap into another dimension or something, or you never
I don't
really
know, but
find
it's
out?
a giant bug creature thing. So all you
Giant
see are the
bug.
arms.
It's this mist. Like this mist comes out of this other dimension, and these monsters come with it, and they're like killing people, and they're stuck in the grocery store until people are dying off and distrusting each other, and it's just a very tense movie. So it ends up being David, his son, I think his like girlfriend, and I think one other person leave in a jeep, and I think they start to get away, and then they run out of gas or something. I think they run out of gas, and then they're trapped, and all these monsters are like attacking the truck.
Yep.
And they beg him, they all decide as a group that he should shoot all of them and then shoot them. So he shoots his son, his girlfriend, somebody else, and he's about ready to kill himself, and the army shows up and saves them.
Yep.
Like this all takes place within like a minute.
It's so
like
messed
kills
up.
his son, and then the army shows up. Fucked up. Really fucked up. Sorry,
It really is.
Sorry, we're just ruining everything for you, folks.
So, I mean, there's other ones, but I think we should end on a high note.
Or a low note, depends on how you look at it.
With Sleepaway Camp.
Your favorite movie.
For those of you who have not seen it,
give us a nice, good explanation of Sleepaway Camp.
Okay, so it's not my favorite movie. It's terrible. It's one of those so bad it's good movies. It's about this little boy and little girl, who
surprise go to sleepaway camp.
Who go to live with like their aunt, or the little girl goes to live with her aunt after like her parents are killed in a boating accident. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's not really relevant.
All right, I'll let it slide.
So they go to a sleepaway camp, the boy and the girl. I think they're cousins or brother and sister. I don't remember. But anyways, all these murders start happening at the camp. And then you come to find out that the little girl is the one doing all the killing. But surprise, she's a little boy. And like one of the last scenes in the movie is her standing naked on a beach. In all of her glory.
His glory.
Yep. And it's like this major thing. Like the aunt that she's living with decided that she wanted him to be a little girl and like raised him like a little girl, and it's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Angela is her name.
Oh boy.
And they've made like, I don't know, 4 or 5 sequels.
Dear.
Yeah.
That's disturbing.
Yeah. You should really give it a watch, because it's so bad. I mean, it is one of those like super campy bad movies.
I don't know if I ever will, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh, Jay, you got to. It's so bad it's good.
Oh my god. So, I forgot to bring this up at the beginning of the episode.
Okay.
So, again, today is May 17th, and I have breaking news.
Okay.
By the time you hear this, it will not be breaking anymore. So, today, I don't know if it started today, but today was something the CW calls the upfronts.
Everybody calls it the upfronts.
Okay, so the CW had their upfronts today. I didn't know if it was a thing. The CW had their upfronts today, and the story that broke yesterday was that Stephen Amell was sworn to secrecy about something that was going to happen next year. Do you know what I'm talking about already?
I do.
So the announcement was made that next year during the crossover, the Arrowverse will introduce Batwoman and Gotham.
Yep.
Just in time for the Fox series Gotham to go off the air, which that may be a coincidence or not.
Oh, they're ending it next year?
They're ending it next year as Bruce dons the cape and cowl in the final season.
Okay.
So take that how you will. David Matus, or whatever his name is, has said he would love to go to the CW and play Batman.
Okay.
So take that how you will, but the Bat family is coming to the Arrowverse.
That's awesome.
I'm stoked about it.
I'm excited about that.
We literally we have it's excellent.
Yeah. So before we get to some more Craigslist stuff, because we will go back to Craigslist.
Craigslist.
There are like 3 things I want to talk about quickly.
Sure.
The first being Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And I was so ready to rant tonight, and I don't have to, and I'm very happy.
For the 31 hours it was canceled for? Wasn't even 31 hours.
So I'm a huge Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan.
Me too. I'm surprised we haven't even talked about this. I love that show with a passion. I don't know how we've never talked about it. It's like one of my favorite shows. It is the greatest show. It's unbelievable how good it is. Terry loves yogurt.
I was super bummed when it got canceled.
I know.
And thanks to the power of social media and the famous people who like rallied for it within 31 hours, NBC, who had originally passed on it or had given it to Fox, took it back.
Yeah.
And it's like, so Lin-Manuel Miranda, Mark Hamill, I think it was Sean Astin.
Sean Astin, yep.
And Seth Meyers.
There was one more. There was one more. There was 5.
Yes, because they have a group text and they were calling themselves the Guardians of the Nine-Nine.
There was a movie poster. Somebody took a Guardians of the Galaxy movie poster and put all their heads on it.
Yes. So I am like Guillermo del Toro.
That's right, Guillermo del Toro, because they had him. It was Guillermo Drax Toro.
Yes. Just the fact that they all tweeted that was just so.
It was incredible.
Yeah, and that they saved the show. Like, I'm so excited.
Thanks to NBC for picking it up. Like, genius.
Well, again, NBC originally had the rights to it because it's Dan Gore who was behind Parks and Rec.
Right. It's just so funny that we live in an age now where all these shows are coming back and like rebooting and like being picked up by other networks. Like, it's crazy that social media is doing this to the shows we love. Like, if the right people get on board, we can get our shows on other networks. It's incredible. Netflix, and there's all these other networks are smart enough to know there's a lot of people talking about this. I bet you we can make some money. And if not, they pick it up for one season, it fails, they can let it go again. But
exactly. I'm so happy that it's not going anywhere.
Yes.
So you posted a trailer the other day. And so I just want to briefly talk about Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
So it is the story of Freddie Mercury.
Yes, biopic.
Yes, and I remember when Rami Malek was cast as Freddie Mercury, and that when they said that they're coming out with this movie, I was like, he's perfect. He's going to be perfect casting. And then when they put out the first still of him with the mustache in the white wife beater, I was like, oh my God. So to see the trailer, the teaser that they just came out with the other day, he is the ultimate casting. I'm so excited for this movie.
There is one thing I will say I'm disappointed about so far, but it could just be the trailer. In the trailer, all the songs were Freddie Mercury. Like, I don't think it wasn't Rami Malek singing. Is he not singing in this movie?
Hold on, because I believe
maybe they just did that for the trailer. And the mix they put together, like the way they combined the songs for the trailer, I was like dying.
I want like an album of that.
It's like a mega mix, the Queen mega mix from the 90s.
Let's see, singing in Bohemian Rhapsody. Because I believe he did record at Abbey Road.
I thought I remember seeing something that he had recorded,
with Queen.
With the band, yeah.
Or at least they heard him doing some of the covers or whatever. I thought I saw something or read something about that. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing anything right now, and I don't want to deep dive too much because we're recording.
Okay.
And then the third thing, John Mulaney. So I watched Kid Gorgeous at Radio City Music Hall
As
on
did
Sunday
I.
night.
Funny enough, as did I.
So like he's one of my favorite comedians, and I was watching it, and I posted something on Facebook, and Sharon, commented how you guys had watched it the night before.
Yeah.
So when I texted you that I was watching it, I didn't get a response from you. Okay, fine. This is his best stand-up ever.
This was the first stand-up I've seen from him too.
I've either seen or listened to everything he's done. And this is the best one. And the fact that he does a 5-minute bit on the Catholic Church, which I almost peed my pants. I was laughing so hard.
It was pretty good. I did find his like performance to be weird. Like, is that the way he talks kind of weird when he performs his stand-up? It's really strange. I can't explain what it is.
He talks like an old-timey carnival barker.
Yes. That's
his voice.
Like, has he mentioned the fact that he does that? Like, is this a
No, that's how he talks.
It's like a little bit of a New York accent thing he's got going on, and just
but
it's
from
really
Chicago.
Fun. It's weird. It's just a weird thing, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah, and the bit on Street Smarts. He further elaborated on Detective J.J. Bittenbauer, whatever his name is, on James Corden the other night.
And I looked him up as we were watching it. I was like, this is a real person. He actually exists.
Yeah, and he is not happy with his portrayal in Kid Gorgeous. Because, as he put it, I never wore a cowboy hat.
That's your problem with it. Okay. All right. Yeah, it was hilarious. And funny enough, one of the jokes I've always told for years, and I knew it wasn't my joke. I mean, I didn't claim it as my own.
Yeah.
Come to find out, it was a John Mulaney joke about the quicksand.
Yes.
I was led to believe by the movies and TV shows I watched as a kid that quicksand was going to be much more of a problem in my adult life.
Yes.
And then
if you have it,
I realized like a week ago when you told me that joke was his, that's when I knew. I was like, all right, I got to watch this guy's stand-up special. It was the greatest.
You need to, I think it's either from Newentown or from the top part.
Okay.
He does this. It's the end of the act. He talks about going to the Salt and Pepper Diner in Chicago with his best friend John, and the prank they pull at this diner, and it's about 10 minutes long and crying. It's so funny.
I'll have to watch it.
I don't want to give you anything else about it, but let's just say that Tom Jones makes an appearance.
Okay, got it.
All right. So, do you have any Amazon reviews this week or no?
I don't. I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't get too prepared. But why don't you do your fanfic pick real quick first?
Okie dokie.
And then we can go out with some Craigslist ads.
Okay.
We're not too bad. We're only 20 minutes over.
That's fine. Like I said, it's.
Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. I feel this episode's going better than the last one.
Last week was just, we were tired.
We were exhausted.
So it's so funny that my description for last week's episode really described us this week.
Yeah, like I'm wired tonight. Like,
yeah. All right. So this one's going to be a Teen Wolf fanfic. But this time it's Lydia and Styles. And it's an oldie. It's from January of 2014. And it is called Maybe We Could Be the Start of Something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Check it out.
Check it out. All right. Give us some good Craigslist stuff.
All right. Let's see. Wanted. A mule named Sal.
Okay.
Looking for a mule named Sal to travel to Buffalo on the Erie Canal. Must be a good old worker and a great old pal. Name is non-negotiable.
Listen, you gotta have standards, and you cannot You cannot bend on them. You need to stick to your guns.
Yeah, sometimes you do. All right. Then we have a 99 caddy.
Okay.
Need gone by the end of the week. $500. Rims not included. Email me with a number and area code. The only thing wrong is that with the car is that I masturbated in the back seat and can't get the stains out. My dog also took a crap in the trunk and and it's still in there needing to be cleaned out.
Oh dear.
So many questions.
Oh my god. I guess it's not leather interior.
Contest to be my boss.
Okay.
I'm a graphic artist in need of a job. I've decided to fill this need the same way many people think they can fill their graphic design needs with a contest. Here's how it'll work. Send me 1 week's worth of salary and benefits. I will keep all of the checks that are sent to me and use all the benefits. Whoever sends me the best salary and benefits package will win the contest and get the prize of 2 days of graphic design work. Good luck. I'm really looking forward to receiving your payment packages.
Wonder how that worked out for him.
Probably not well.
Probably not well.
Oh, there are some that are really, really inappropriate that I would love to read, but I don't know. I mean, we are listed as NSFW, but I don't know.
I mean, if you're unsure about them, then it's probably not a good idea.
Well, I mean, the title is "Want It From Behind While Playing Super Mario Brothers."
Please read that one.
Nope. Sorry, nope. No, it gets really graphic. I can't.
Listen, you essentially just you it's like you got a bowl out of the cupboard and you said, "Hey, what's your favorite ice cream?" And I told you, and you said, "Here, I'm going to put it in this bowl." And then right as I was about to get that ice cream, you threw it in the garbage.
I'd rather read the USB one than this one.
Listen, give me the fucking ice cream. All right, fine.
I'll read the USB one if you want, but this one is like...
Didn't we read the USB one on the air?
We didn't. I texted it to you because I said this is kind of... I was laughing too hard and it was really inappropriate.
Oh my god. I thought we read it on the podcast.
We didn't. I can.
Oh, boy.
I gotta find the text message to you. Oh, wait, here we go.
I would be more than happy to read it if you'd like.
Nope. Why don't you read it? Because it's a doozy, and I...
Let me just find it. Let me scroll back here. Hold on.
While you're doing that, I will read you...
I have it. I have it.
Okay.
I'm going to edit it down a little bit. Well... all the words in here are pretty scientific. So the title of this one, and I apologize ahead of time.
It's the best thing ever.
25, Philadelphia, man for woman. You stuck my flash drive in your vagina. Now, if this doesn't get us kicked off the network, nothing will. I'm sorry.
Hey, we are tagged as not safe for work.
Okay, fair enough. Date, 4/20/2010, 3:04 p.m. You stuck my flash drive in your vagina. If you are reading this, you know who you are. I don't think this is a fad sweeping the city, so this one's for you. We met at Mill Creek Tavern. You said you were from Lancaster. You were beautiful. You liked me. It was perfect. But then we went back to my apartment. We watched The Breakfast Club. You had never seen it before. We ended up in my bed as planned and did the deed as planned. You looked beautiful, half covered in my sheets, when I left to use the bathroom. When I came back, this is what I saw. You standing naked at my computer. You, with your hand on the keyboard, not typing. You, grabbing the flash drive. The flash drive pops out. You look at it. You squat a little bit, and you insert it like a tampon. I am speechless. You proceed to get dressed, say you have to go home, and leave. The number you gave me doesn't work. I am confused. I'd like to see you again. I'd like to see my flash drive again. Your name is Rebecca. You have long blonde hair. Please get in touch. I am a very understanding person. That was pretty graphic.
Not as graphic as the Super Mario Brothers one, which I sent you.
Okay.
Okay. $850 looking for a new roommate in Capitol Hill. I have a bedroom, 12 by 14 foot, available starting on June 1st, 1-year lease, for a male or female roommate. My previous roommate just moved out since his work for the federal government took him to another city. We will be sharing a bathroom, kitchen, and living room. The apartment is spacious and well lit by natural light. A little bit about myself. I work at the Department of Defense as a researcher, and I'm also pursuing a master's degree at Georgetown. I really enjoy reading, hiking, playing kickball with my friends, and drinking good beer. I go out a lot on the weekends, but once in a while I stay home and just watch a movie. If you're interested, please contact me by email and tell me a little bit about yourself. One more thing. Please read this so we don't waste each other's time. On our bathroom door is a checklist. I like to keep a record of my bowel movements, and I expect you to do the same. It's just a simple checklist with each day of the month. Simply place a check on the day if you have a bowel movement. It's no big deal, and you needn't worry about replacing the list. I'll take care of everything. Hope to hear from you.
I don't understand.
What do you mean you don't understand?
I mean, I understand, but I don't understand. Oh, God.
This creep wants to know when the roommate's pooping.
I know that. I get it, but I just don't understand why.
I don't either. People are weirdos.
Yes, they are.
All right, this one is titled God Damn It.
Okay. This is going to be good.
I love you, birds. I love you a lot. But stop shitting in your water.
If that's where it ended. Oh my God, it would be perfect.
No. I bought a huge ass cage because all of you are cute, and I bought toys because all of you are cute, and I bought baths so you could bathe because all of you are cute. But whenever I turn around, you're shitting in your bathing water. It's a huge cage, and you choose to shit there of all places. Stop it. It drives me insane.
Like the birds are going to go on Craigslist and read this ad?
So this person took out an ad on Craigslist to yell at his birds.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Oh my God, I just.
All right, give me one more good one.
Nope, hold on.
There are so many strange people out there.
Yeah.
My God. That flash drive one is haunting.
I love the flash drive one. Let's see. There was... I baked this pie. Holy shit, check out that pie. I baked that. Can you believe it? Fresh blueberry pie. That bitch even has a homemade lattice crust. You know you want to eat my pie. Wait, that came out wrong. Haha, I said came. I enjoy reading, writing, painting, gardening, and I love geeky things. But you don't care about any of that, right? Because pie. And it's just a picture of a pie.
Alrighty. Oh my God. That was something. Where did these people come from? On that note, let's clean up this filthy episode. As always, you can find us on Twitter, A and J Have No Ideas, Facebook, April and J Have No Ideas. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, or anywhere you get your podcasts from. Our website is aprilandj.libsyn.com. And of course, as always, you can find us on randomchatter.com, part of the Random Chatter network of podcasts. Yeah.
And also, come join us on Discord.
And come join us on Discord, which I said I was going to put up instructions on how to do that, and I have not done that yet. Also, still looking for the winner of the contest. I know I'm terrible because I ran a contest and didn't think ahead to figure out how I was going to... Actually, I feel like I did. I feel like I put down if you send us a review to send us an email with that review so I could find you. So still looking for And Alonzo, iTunes user And Alonzo, so I can send you your prize. If you still want it. Otherwise, I guess I could just pick another winner. I don't really want to do that, but... so if you are a regular listener, because you reviewed it, you said you liked the podcast, shoot us an email, aprilandj have no ideas at gmail.com, so I can send you your prize.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Anyhoozle, on that note, I've been April.
And I've been Jay.
And that was an idea.